What's up, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard with the Gaming Brigade, back with another Division 2 build video. And over the last few weeks, I've been getting some messages from new and returning players looking for like a beginner's guide, if you will, to a run and gun style, build. And today I wanted to throw something together which hopefully will help you out. Now, if you happen to be new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Secondly, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. And if you enjoyed this or found it helpful at all, do me a favor, my friends, hit that like button. It really does help us out. Finally, as most of you know, we have giveaways here, and our current one is for a PlayStation 5, and all you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow us on Twitter. Either way is fine. The winner will be announced on December 31st of this year, and as I've mentioned in my previous videos, keep in mind that watching our content is not a requirement to win. Only watch the things here you may enjoy. That's why you have the option of entering via Twitter. Having said that, let's get into today's video. So the first thing I like to mention at the beginning of any build video that I put together is that this is just a template. This is one of so many different ways you can run with the build. I mean, you may have some of this gear, you may not. So always remember, take your time, try out variations, and really make a build your own. Now, throughout the build breakdown, I'll show you a few other options you have in case you want to run things a little bit differently, or like I said, you don't have certain pieces of gear. Now, as always, I'm starting off with a little bit of gameplay, then we're going to get into the build itself, and then afterwards, a little more footage, and I want to pass along a few friendly reminders for new players, which should hopefully help out. You can see here I'm running heroic difficulty. I use this for control points, I use this for missions, I use this for the summit. It is so much fun to use for close quarters combat. So again, hopefully it helps you out, and let's just jump into the build itself. Starting off with the specialization, I'm using Gunner because I like to get that extra 10% armor on kill. However, Firewall is another great option, and regardless of which specialization you choose, you want to make sure you have your primary and secondary weapon activated in the skill tree. That way you get that extra 15% weapon damage bonus. As far as my primary is concerned, it's the Dark Winter SMG. I absolutely love this thing. Now, it is a Dark Zone exclusive. However, any SMG here is fine. I would recommend using the Talent Killer or Optimus. They're both really effective, and like I said, if you don't have this weapon, again, any Vector is fine. Any SMG you want to run with, totally good here. I have the Scorpio as my secondary weapon. I absolutely love this thing. It's great for dealing with heavies, and because I'm running with Hunter's Fury, you're getting that bonus for, shotguns and SMGs. Now, if you don't have the Scorpio, you can get it at any place where the shotgun is the targeted loot. It is in the general loot pool. And actually, I'll make sure to leave a link to a Scorpio farming video I put together in the description down below. Now, moving on to the gear itself, you can see we're running 4-piece Hunter's Fury, 1 Sokolov, and 1 piece of 511. Starting with the Hunter's Fury mask, we're running 4 pieces so we get all of the gear set bonuses. You can see that the 2-piece bonus gives you 15% shotgun and SMG damage. The 3-piece gives you 20% armor on kill and 100% health on kill. The 4-piece is Apex Predator. Enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. As far as my attributes are concerned, on all of these pieces where I can, I'm trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage. Now, moving on to the body armor, it's the 1 piece of Sokolov, so we get that SMG damage bonus, and I'm running with a Talent Obliterate. However, this is one of those pieces where you have a lot of different options. One recommendation I have for people who are just starting off, trying to use a run and gun build is use Unbreakable on the chest. That way you're getting that armor break that extra armor when your armor breaks. That could help you out a lot just to get used to it. And then after that, you could decide I want to use something more aggressive. Again, try a few different things and see which one works best for you. Continuing on to the holster and the knee pads, they are both pieces of Hunter's Fury. Now for the holster, I chose to have my core attribute as armor because I wanted a little more base survivability with this build. Again, you may want to use weapon damage, it's up to you, but I chose to have, sitting at 1.1 was a really good baseline for me. With the knee pads, again, stacking crit hit chance, crit hit damage everywhere I can, and as we make our way to the gloves, this again, if you have these, it's something you may want to try to use. The death grips, it does give you an extra 10% armor on kill. However, if you don't, there are other options you can jump into. A few recommendations I have: if you have the contractor's gloves, they are by far some of the best gloves in the game. Hopefully you have a pair where you can choose between, your core attribute being weapon damage or armor. You also have the choice of using, if you don't have either of those, another piece of Sokolov, which will give you an extra 15% crit hit damage bonus. Finally, we have the backpack, and this again is one of those places where you have so many different options to choose from. Now, the reason I landed on this is because the actual Hunter's Fury bag has its own talent, which is Overwhelming Force, where it increases the disorient on Apex Predator from 5 meters to 10 meters. And for those of you just starting off with a run and gun build, that's really going to come in handy as you're getting used to this style of gameplay. But with that being said, my go-to with my Hunter's Fury is definitely, without a doubt, the Memento Backpack, and what I do is I change the talent on my chest from Obliterate to Intimidate because you're getting extra armor, and with that you get an extra weapon damage bonus. Now obviously if you change your backpack, that means you need to add another piece of Hunter's Fury to the gear set, which means you'd swap out the gloves for Hunter's Fury, but anyway, that's a whole nother build. We'll get into that another time. I actually put that build up already. I'll leave a link to that, and for those of you that don't have the Memento as yet, I will also leave a farming video for that as well. As far as my skills go, I'm running with the Crusader shield in case things get sideways, which they always do, and I also have the assault drone because for me, it not only distracts NPCs, but it also puts out damage. Now, as far as my stats go, keep in mind when you change certain things in your build, these will vary. Now at this point, I want to go over a few tips that I like to pass along to new and returning players anytime you're trying out a new build. You can take a screenshot of the stats, but what I would really be concerned with is not so much the numbers as how the build actually reacts to your gameplay, because you're going to see the numbers jump all across the board sometimes. One of the recommendations I make in every build video I put together is anytime you're trying out a new build, you definitely want to go to a mission or control point or whatever it may be that you're comfortable with. That way you know the timing of the NPC so you can truly see how the build responds to your game style. I mean, I'll use myself as an example. I see certain builds out there where they're like running glass cannon on the chest and they have, vigilance on the bag, and I'm like, yeah, I'll try this, and I just keep dying. And so for me, I watch what they do and it's absolutely amazing, but for me, I know with my game style, this is a build that I know I can get through the content with. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting build videos together is the community we have here at the channel, how we work together. So as always, my friends, let me know how you like to run these builds in the description down below. Any way we can pass on information to new and returning players to help them out, I definitely want to do so. On that note, I'm going to start to wrap this video up. However, as always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your continued support and remind you, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, let me know what's going on and I will try to get back to you as quick as I can. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. We would love for you to be a part of what we're doing. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit that like button as well. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Picked up on camera again. The holding area is just ahead. Once you find that laptop, grab it and get the hell out of there.
Sun's reinforcements headed your way?
North or south side?
Both. Heavier concentration to the south.
With all those gates sealed, the north exit should be closer.